Good morning. It is Karen at Simply Living for Him. I'm here to do my daily devotional. It is Friday, January 29th, 2021. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about one of my favorite verses in Acts. It's Acts 4:13, and I'm going to read it to you first. It says, "Now, as they observed the confidence of Peter and John and understood that they were uneducated and untrained men, they were amazed and began to recognize them as having been with Jesus." So I want to ask you today, do people recognize that you have been with Jesus? And what does that mean? I know that when I spend time with the Lord in the morning and I'm in my Bible and I'm praying and I'm, studying, I am filled up by the Holy Spirit, and He, fills me with the truth, and that spills out in my everyday behavior. If I start out my day with Jesus, I know that my kids are going to recognize that. If I start out my day on Facebook and reading, the negative headlines and, listening to the maybe the arguments of the day going on and seeing a lot of that affects how I behave, because it does. When you're with the world, your kids are going to recognize you're with the world. And when you're with Jesus, people are going to recognize you've been with Jesus. And so often we think that we have to do all these big things to share the gospel. It really starts with spending time with Jesus, and people will naturally see that in you. People will naturally recognize that. In this passage, it's talking about, it says the confidence of Peter and John, that these people, they observed that, and they knew that they weren't educated or trained. In some translations, it says they were unschooled. And so, they didn't have this formal education, and yet it says they observed their confidence. Because where did that confidence come from? It came from the Holy Spirit. It came from Jesus in them. And these men had actually been with Jesus, and that was their credentials, right? They didn't need any other credentials but to say, my life has been changed by this man that I have been with. My entire being has been changed. And it wasn't because of schooling. It wasn't because of knowledge. It was because of a true transformation inside. And people recognize that. And so I've always loved this verse because I feel like it shows that ordinary people, ordinary moms, ordinary women, ordinary people here, when you are with Jesus, that is enough. That is enough to share the gospel. That is your testimony, right? You can know the Bible inside and out and all the details and facts and theology. But if you aren't transformed by Jesus, your testimony is really just a bunch of words. And so you can show Jesus to others simply by being with Jesus yourself. So it all begins with, nourishing your own spirit, and then just reflecting that. The world will naturally see Jesus in you. So I wanted to tie this devotional in with actually something we are doing at Simply Living for Him now to encourage, everyday women in their everyday lives to shine the light of Christ, because again, your testimony speaks for itself, and you being with Jesus is enough. So this month in February, coming on Monday, we are actually going to be starting a little challenge, and it's part of our new Simply Go initiative at Simply Living for Him. Simply Go is based on this verse, whereas, we simply share the gospel in our everyday lives. Sometimes it feels intimidating, or, what if we're rejected, or do I have to go to another country to share the gospel? No, you can literally simply share the gospel right from your home in your everyday life. So starting on Monday, we are doing a Love Thy Neighbor challenge at Simply Living for Him. If you go to the link, I'm going to post it here in the description of the video, you can download a free calendar for February, and it has an idea for every single day of the month that is so simple that can help you to realize that you can start building relationships with people in your everyday life in very simple ways. So every single day we have an idea. You can use our ideas, and hopefully it will spark some more ideas of your own where you can say, wow, I really can share Jesus right from my home or right out there in my neighborhood or right in my community. And so go ahead and download the calendar and read all about that for February. But we're excited to kind of start this new initiative, this Simply Go, where we are going to be sharing every day, every month, different ideas, different encouragement, different resources for you to share the light of Jesus, because this world is getting darker every single day. And we have the light of Christ. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, we don't have to be trained, with all these credentials. Our credentials are that we've been with Jesus, and we simply have to reflect that into the world and share the light of Christ. It starts with building relationships and letting people see Jesus in you. So remember today, who are you spending your time with? Who are people recognizing that you've been with? They say that the people you spend the most time with are the people you become like. I want to become more like Jesus. That is my number one goal in life, to become more like Jesus. So if I want to be like him, I got to spend time with him. So head over to Acts today, chapter 4, verse 13, and, meditate on that a little bit and say to yourself, do people recognize I've been with Jesus? Because people will recognize when you've been with the world, but when they recognize you've been with Jesus, that is where true transformation takes place. So I hope this encouraged you. If it did, I'd love for you to share it with a friend. Come and subscribe to the YouTube channel and join us in February for the Love Thy Neighbor Challenge at Simply Living for Him. Until the next time, I wish you all the blessings and joy in Jesus today.